Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. You're watching Times Now and we are broadcasting from the LIC Housing Finance Limited studio. You're watching The Nation Wants to Know. Ladies and gentlemen, Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister Joseph Stalin's birthday celebrations today have taken a temple turn, and no, it's not what you think. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu has, via one single action, fired up the Free Temples movement that wants all temples across India to be freed from government control, much like churches and mosques are. So just 2 days after the governor of Tamil Nadu promised structural reforms in the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowment Department that runs temples in the state, the TVK government got down to work. In a government order issued late Friday night, the department has cancelled 46 projects approved by the previous DMK government that were to be funded by temple donations. The projects include 29 marriage halls worth some 115 crore rupees and 17 commercial complexes worth 130 crore rupees. The total value of the shelved projects is about 246 crore rupees. I'm just going to repeat myself. All of this was to be built using temple funds, the donations that temples get. Ladies and gentlemen, temple donations are a sensitive subject in India. Is a temple hundi solely for temple use, or is it part of the government's treasury? Should donations fund just temple activities, or should they be used for public good and welfare as well? And who really owns the money devotees donate? Is it owned by the deity, or is it owned by the government? This, of course, plays into a larger debate on whether state governments should at all be involved in the running of big and small temples. Now, the previous DMK government certainly believed that the temple money, the devotee money, belongs to the government and therefore diverted excess funds of temples to other public infrastructure projects. The TVK government has now reversed it, raising the question, is Chief Minister Vijay moving towards freeing temples from state control? Is he leaning towards the BJP's point of view that the HR and CE department actually should be abolished in the first place? In the assembly today, there was a war of words.
அறநிலையத்துறையே இருக்கக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்ற பாஜகவுடைய குரலாகத்தான் தாவேக அரசும் சொல்லுதா அப்படிங்கிற சந்தேகம் எங்களுக்கு வருது. பாஜகவும் வலதுசாரிகளும் சொல்றது இதுதான். அறநிலையத்துறை பள்ளி கல்லூரிகளை நடத்தக்கூடாது, அறநிலையத்துறை பள்ளி கல்லூரிகள் நடத்தக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. இதுக்காக வழக்கும் தொடர்ந்து இருக்கிறாங்க. இந்த நிலைப்பாடு திருமண மண்டபங்கள் வணிக வளங்களோடு நிற்குமா, இல்ல கல்வி நிறுவனங்களுக்கும் இந்த கண்டிஷன்ஸ் அப்ளை செய்யப்படுமா?
The TVK government has taken a regressive step in not allowing the existing schemes of using the temple funds to build community centers and build commercial complexes to be scrapped. It's not acceptable. When a community center is built, it is helpful for everybody. It is helpful for the people belonging to the SC, ST, OBC communities. They will have their functions there at a nominal rate than the other ones which is built, which may charge fanciful rates. And when you build a commercial complex, it will also augment the income available to the temple. What is the point in having temple money remaining unused?
இவர்கள் கமர்ஷியலாக கோவில்களுக்கு திருமண மண்டபங்கள் கட்டுவதிலும் வணிக வளாகங்கள் கட்டுவதிலும் அதன் மூலமாக வருவாய் ஈட்டுவதை மட்டுமே குறிக்கோளாக வைத்துக் கொண்டு இந்த திட்டங்களை துவங்கியதன் காரணமாக மேலும் அதன் மீது பல்வேறு நீதிமன்ற வழக்குகள் ஸ்டே ஆர்டர்ஸ் இருப்பதனால நாம் அதையெல்லாம் ரத்து செய்து அறிவிச்சிருந்தோம்.
Ladies and gentlemen, the debate is a polarizing one that has money and faith and divine rights and public good in the mix. Let's just remember that temples in India generate about 3 lakh crore rupees in a year, which is roughly the combined budget of health and education in this country. The Tirupati temple, the richest in India, generates about 4 crore rupees every day. Every day. So question is, who does this money belong to? The deity or the government that controls the temple? Now, one view is that temples need an accountable administration to stem corruption, and surplus funds can be used for temple-related public welfare. The other view is that temple funds are a sacred trust and should be controlled by devotees and temple institutions, not the government. If the government wants to build marriage halls and commercial complexes, like in Tamil Nadu, it should use the taxes citizens pay for the job and not divine funds. The controversy in Tamil Nadu did not start with the TVK government. The courts have been raising objections for more than a year. In January 2025, for example, the Madras High Court struck down the DMK government's plan to build a shopping complex using funds from the Shivan temple, which is near Chennai, saying that temple money cannot be used for commercial projects. The Supreme Court upheld this ruling. A month later in June, the Madras High Court ordered an immediate halt to all HR and CE construction projects that violated these rulings. Then in August 2025, a division bench struck down 5 government orders approving marriage halls on temple land, calling them illegal and unconstitutional, and ruling that temple funds belong to the deity and not the government. Net, in short, the courts have repeatedly told the DMK government to stop, but the projects continued. But, ladies and gentlemen, the debate goes far beyond these 46 projects. For years now, temple activists and right-wing groups have argued that Hindu temples alone remain under government control, while churches and mosques are free to govern themselves. The TVK's move has brought that free temple campaign back into focus. And the argument itself isn't just confined to Tamil Nadu. Across India, governments have exercised varying degrees of control over major Hindu shrines, often through law boards and trusts, etc. Temple activists and spiritual leaders like the Sadhguru have argued that thousands of temples in Tamil Nadu have suffered due to neglect, lack of manpower, and financial stress, despite temples like the Meenakshi temple in Madurai generating some 60 crore rupees a year. The Sadhguru has raised concerns over the condition of temples under state administration. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the question this evening is Vijay moving towards a temple revolution, freeing them from state control, or is he simply following court orders? And if Tamil Nadu does go ahead and free temples from government control, like the Uttarakhand government was forced to do with the Char Dhams, will other states follow as well? My guest this evening for a quick debate. Good evening to all of you, all gentlemen, no ladies today except me, Narayan Tirupati, Chief Spokesperson, BJP Tamil Nadu. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Tirupati. Rahul Ishwar back on the show with us. JVC Sriram joining us on the broadcast. All of you know him. Mr. Sarvanan, National Spokesperson of the DMK, joining us on the broadcast as well. None of you need an introduction, but Mr. Sarvanan, I'm going to start with you.
Yes.
What is the problem with what Mr. Vijay has done? A, he is merely following court orders, and B, he is leaning towards the logic that if a devotee offers money to the deity, it's for the deity, it's not for the government.
Yeah. There is a fundamental flaw in this argument in the sense that the money belongs to the deity and it could be spent only for the welfare of the devotees. See, the money that is available in surplus is huge. What can you do? See, there is a temple. It is in a place. How much more can you ensure the welfare of the devotees there? It is much more. The money that is available there is much more than that can be utilized in that particular space. When you build a community center, it means the entire community is benefited by that. And more importantly, the SCs, OBCs and STs, the Hindus belonging to that community, they will be able to use that. So this has got a larger community purpose. This is one aspect. The other aspect is this money, when it is used, when it is lying unused, what what use, what additional benefit it could bring when you invest that, when you build a commercial complex, the money that is built, the money that will come out of that business enterprise will also be helpful to everybody. That is how things are built. There is no purpose. There is no purpose in having the money unused. And this is one aspect of the matter. The other aspect is, in the state of Tamil Nadu, we have the Religious and Charitable Endowments Act, which is ensuring that all the temples are managed by the government. Why did this come through? Because the most important aspect is caste-based discrimination. We all knew that in the state of Tamil Nadu, like elsewhere, we had to fight. The Hindus have to fight to gain access to temples. There were restrictions which ensured that people will not even walk on the streets where the temple is situated, Hindus. So we have come beyond that now. How is it possible? That is because of the government intervention of the government, Tamil Nadu state government. And in the act which we have passed, the Tamil Nadu HRNC Act, is a beautiful act in the sense that there is this Arankavalar Kulu, the trustees board, where people belonging to every community is allowed. It is mandatory. So the representation is given to SCs, STs, and OBCs, which otherwise they will never have. So this,
okay. But Mr. Saravanan, since you have brought up the act.
Case of equity.
Okay. It's a case of equity. You brought up 2 points. Since you have spoken about the act, does the act anywhere say that the department is responsible for public welfare? Bhai, if you have to build marriage halls, Mr. Saravanan, it's the municipality's job. If you have to build hospitals, it's the government's job. If you have to build commercial centers, it is the community's job or the government's job. Hospital is health department's job. Schools is education department's job. It is not the job of the department that is looking after temples.
I'll answer that question. See, it's not just community centers and commercial complexes. The other crucial aspect is we have built schools and colleges. Will the God be angry if a child, a Hindu child, is educated out of the offerings to the God? That is the most important question. Is it beneficial or not to the larger community? And who will any God become angry because everybody else is benefited? That is the most important aspect.
Good point. Okay, since it's 3 versus 1, Rahul Ishwar. Go ahead.
I have great respect to Sharananji. He knows. Being a Gandhian, I respect Periyar Ramaswamy Naikar and the lineage of them. But with humble request, on a lighter note, suppose there is a lot of excessive cash in Sun Network. Will the government take charge of that cash and say, why don't you distribute it to other channels? Sun TV is very, focused with DMK. So if there is excess cash in one institution, does that mean government has a right to take that and divide it among other channels or other institutions? That is not how it works. Now coming to the serious aspects. 1 or 2 points I agree with him. For example, there was some kind of discrimination in the past. There is no denying that. That's how great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Periyar Ramaswamy Naikar, and even Sangh leaders, fought against a lot of discrimination and brought forth many positive views. And we totally agree that every Hindu, irrespective of their caste, should be in the temple administration. But the core point here is different. Who gets to manage these funds? How can a secular government involve and take fund from a particular temple and use it for other commercial purposes? Is that not against the very spirit of Article 25-26, which is a fundamental right which guarantees right to faith? And with due respect, I respect Christian and Muslim communities. Will anybody take, if there is excess cash in a church, if there is excess cash in a mosque, will government say, see, that particular church is very cash rich, let us go and take that? See, it doesn't work like that. Every community, whether it be Hindu, Muslim or Christian, need to have their own right to manage the religious affairs, which comes under Article 26. And Article 25 is the right to faith. And that needs to be protected. And one final submission. We totally agree with the charity aspect, and that needs to be done. But that should be done by the temple administration, devotees. And legally speaking also, the deity and the devotees have the right over this money, not government. The entire temple administration came under the state governments because it was a British ploy to weaken us. The British used our caste divisions to effectively manage a Trojan horse inside our temples so that our Hindu unity can be disunited and the temples won't be a space for consult against the British. India got freedom, but the temples are yet to get freedom. Our Indian nation got freedom, but temples are yet to get freedom from the state control that was instituted by the British.
But are you missing the point on accountability? Look at the money that is involved.
That's the
Just
reason why
for
we need to have
Tirupati,
right to information.
4 crores. Just for Tirupati temple, 4 crores chadhawa every day. Do you see the scope of corruption?
There
has to be accountability. Where is this accountability come from? If the government is watching, there is accountability.
Right to information is instituted in Shabarimala on my petition. We want accountability, transparency, and where the money goes. At the same point of time, the control cannot be in government hand.
You know, even when the control is Mr. Narayan Tirupati in the government's hand, there is corruption. We have seen what is happening with the Ram Lalla temple in Ayodhya. Some 200 crore rupees in donation have gone missing. But the fact is that if the government has control over temples which generate such huge amounts of money, 30 lakh crore rupees, which is more than the education and health budget of this country, then it makes sense for the government to have an overview, right? Then why this free temple movement?
Who is the owner of the temple? Any temple. The deity is the owner of the temple. That is what the Supreme Court says. What business the government has got to look into the temples? That is the main issue. What is HRNC? What is HRNC Act? It is a supervisory body. HRNC is a supervisory body. It has got no business to enter into the day-to-day activities of the temple. The Act very clearly explains. Now, you tell me, there were periods when temples were managed by the local committees itself. Now the government the politicians want to loot this. They come inside. This is what has happened. You say that discrimination took place. Yes, as my friend said, discriminations were there, but reforms in all religion happens. Whether it is from Ramanujar, you just read what all Bharatiyar had said, what all Rajaji had said, and he was the only person who brought all caste people to temples. Mr. Rajaji, he wrote a law. He brought in a law. Please understand. So now what we say is that to loot the public money, this is a public money. The owner of the temple is the god, and the people give money to the respective temples only. I want to go to Tirupati and I pay, some kind of money to Tirupati. It should go only to Tirupati. It's very, very clear. And that is why I am giving. I pray God that this temple should grow, and who all people come, they have to. Saravanan says money is a surplus. How money is surplus? You put it in a bank, it will create interest. How? See, this is something, very absurd arguments. And who are you?
Mr. Narayan Tirupati, no. Help me understand this. How much more can the Tirupati temple grow? How much more can the Madurai temple grow?
See,
they are already big enough.
I will tell you. What is your problem? What is your problem?
I have no problem. I'm just moderating a debate. But if you have a problem with what is happening in Tamil Nadu, you should also have a problem with what is happening in Siddhivinayak.
Wait. Tirupati, it is not serving only for Tirupati. It is a Devasthanam where it has got hundreds of temples under its control. Please understand. So it develops. You can't say that the Tirupati money is being spent only for that. You have got hundreds of temples surrounding Andhra Pradesh. It does. I am asking you only simple thing. Who are you? You have illegally, you are nothing. The government cannot come in.
Yes. No. See, the first argument is that who are the politicians? How are they accountable? They are the ones who are interfering and they are responsible for corruption. Politicians are the most accountable persons. We have a classic example of the Chidambaram Nataraja temple, where it is not under government's control. The kind of atrocities that is happening there, the kind of discrimination that is being propagated there, and the kind of mismanagement that is happening there is well known to the state of Tamil Nadu. To prevent precisely that there is control. If there is a problem here with the government, you can go to the court, and these persons, elected persons, are responsible to the people. So the people accept that. The people say, yes, this is the way forward. And that is why these things are happening. And now, see, the other question, the only question is this, with this new TVK government. See, they say we have cancelled this because it is of a court order. Our leader, Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin, has raised a very, very pertinent question. See, there are schools and colleges which have been built.
Correct.
So what is your stand? What is your stand on that? Are you going to scrap those, or you are going to have an independent policy? See, this is the policy of the BJP. Free the temples from the government. Why the TVK is parroting that? That is the question. And there are no answers for that.
Okay.
What is that? They are now taking umbrage under a court's order.
Okay.
But
Mr. Tirupati,
is it what they want to follow? That is
Mr.
why we
Tirupati,
call
congratulations.
there is no difference between TVK and BJP.
Joseph Vijay is parroting your orders and your
Absolutely.
propaganda.
No, see, not my order. See, this DMK, Mr. Saravanan was talking about the Nataraja temple at Chidambaram. See what happened in Nataraja temple Chidambaram. The court ordered that the HRNC has got no rights. But they harassed. In fact, they stooped down to a level that they charged so many people, who are doing everyday pujas. They arrested these people, poor people. And the DMK government, which has literally destroyed the temple. And these people have absolutely no right to talk about all these things. I'm asking you, see, you as a government, if you have a government, you build the community centers. The government
I
should build
agree.
it. Why you are
But
taking
if a temple funds marriage halls, एक minute, Mr. Narayan Tirupati, let JVC also come in. But if a temple funds marriage halls, for example, in this case, Christians and Muslims are not going to come and get married in those marriage halls. It is Hindu devotees only who will get married in those marriage halls. What is the problem? My limited point is, what is the problem? The God can also do charity, no?
I am telling you, it is not you to decide that. It is for the temple management to decide.
No.
Please understand, this is the problem. This problem you people don't. It is not that you don't understand. You don't want to understand.
No.
Legally, it is the temple management.
Tirupati, I want to understand, which is why four of you are on this show. JVC, what is Vijay's calculation here? He is a Christian. He's a practicing Christian. There are many people who have come in a previous show today that I was hosting and said, look, this is a Christian chief minister who's thinking, about Hindus and doing the right thing by Hindus, etc. Are you looking at it like that, or is there a political calculation, JVC, that is?
No, Shreya, good evening. I don't think so, because see, what Vijay is doing is simply going by the court order. The court has given the orders. Let me put my points very clearly as far as Saravanan is concerned. Mr. Vaidyanatha Iyer was the one who took every community people, including Dalits, inside the temple in 1939. Rajgopalacharya was the one who took them to the temples. They were all Brahmins. And Saravanan and his party are known for Brahmin hatred in public. Point number two, it is not something Vijay is doing a great favor for Hindus. Vijay is not doing a great favor for Hindus. It is a court order. Number three, tell me, Shreya, why should a multi-level parking stand be constructed in a town where there is a small temple using the temple's funds? Can't you run, you gave promises to people that I will give you, 2,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, and you take the temple's funds to fund those projects? What a nonsense you're talking about. And he's talking about surplus funds. Go and see the temples. Temples are in a very bad condition, an apathetic state. And who is going to take responsibility for that? Let me just complete. As far as TTD is concerned, as Mr. Narayan Tirupati said, TTD supports several temples. Tirumala gets a lot of funds. But there are temples where, supported by TTD, where, the priests will not even earn money. And Tirumala itself needs far more development. You want to build a marriage hall? Build a marriage hall attached to the temple. You don't build a marriage hall somewhere 10 kilometers away from the temple. That's what I'm trying to say.
But how does that matter? The revenue generated will go to the temple only, na JVC.
No.
And can we just put out what Sadhguru has said about temples? Yeah,
one minute, allow me to complete. Shreya, a temple money is used for constructing a wedding hall, happens through TTD also. But that temple and the marriage hall should be attached, because the devotee who says that I want to, get my marriage done in this temple, and for that I'm using this, that's fine. Otherwise, it's not fine. If it is 10 kilometers, that's not, that it's a wish of the, people who are coming, the devotees. It is not the wish of DMK. It is not the DMK who has to decide. How can you fund projects like that using temples fund? Would we do that with about money? Tell me.
Okay. you know, my entire point was that what Vijay has done is started or reignited the free temples debate. Will it happen given the amount of money that is involved? 30 lakh crore rupees. One doesn't know. 3 lakh crore rupees, I beg your pardon, not 30 lakh crore rupees, 3 lakh crore rupees. Will that happen? We don't know, but at least we had a good debate. Thank you very much, Mr. Saravanan, Rahul Ishwar, Mr. Narayan Tirupati and JVC for joining us on the broadcast. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a quick break. Up next, we are getting you an update from Lucknow, where an inferno at a coaching center has now claimed the life of 15 students. That story is up next. Do stay with us.